So in order to understand the realms, first and foremost, to give context to this so people understand it, is you need to understand that the construct has multiple layers to it. And these are templates. You could say, well, games. Okay. So certain realms are all different templates, different experiences. So this is where you get the earthly realm, the four corners earthly realm is a template of experience within the construct. Realm 2 is what people will call the galactic races, beings. Realm 2, it's a different template, but still within the entirety of the construct. You go up to realm 3, these are different templates. Where do you think that the history, the lost civilization of what people will call Atlantis or Anunnaki beings or Egypt, the structures are still here, but where did those beings go? Because this was, you could say, reset in a sense. This is where you go into realm 3, still within here.
Many people feel as though they're speaking with beings who are from realm 2, galactic beings. And how would you explain the interaction of the beings that exist in these different realms between themselves and other realms, like galactic beings and earth people, for example?
The bodies that they're using, or you could say soul, body, etc., they're physical. Like I said, they're just a different frequency that are just outside of the perception of you. This is where you get the crafts and what people call ships that they use, which are dimensional space or frequency-based craft, interdimensional space. This is where you'll get certain technologies that they use. They are able to shift in and out of sight sometimes. You see them and then you don't.
Yeah, just our frequency band, our ability to see. We only have a certain array of frequencies we can see with the naked eye, and it's just phased off in density. Yeah.
That's a good point as well. It's something that I brought up as well, because a lot of people may think that this is way too complicated to understand, but we can only see a very limited strand of the light spectrum, what you just said as well. Once that starts to open up, you start to see all of it again. It's not necessarily new. It's what has always been here, just outside of the decoders of your brain to decode that information that has always been present this entire time.
Is it something just as we would expect? Some people have the perception to be able to see into the other realms more easily than someone else. It's just a matter of opening up the ability, and you're able to see into all of these. And this doesn't even get into other constructs, other types of beings and places. So now from galactic then, and I think most of us understand what that means and where the ship activities and everything happen, we go to level 3. And did you say a little bit ago that that's where these, what we would consider ancient civilizations, still exist?
I'm just going to use the terminology here that other people use so they could understand it. What people would consider Anunnaki beings, the Egypt, Atlantis, stuff like that. That's where you could say the template of that resided from, is that realm. This is where you'll go. Where do they all go?
I hope you're enjoying this video, because if you are, there are dozens more like it on my site, all supported by people like you. So if you'd like to keep this work rolling in and join our community, just click on the Patreon button at reginameredith.com. That also gives you access to insider commentary, my live book club, and other live events with special guests. So join in. Thanks.
So what about the notion that a lot of those beings, now this is coming from a personal standpoint of mixing it up with a lot of different people with a lot of different ideas and experiences, that those beings from those realms are also us. Some of us, many, were part of these civilizations.
Yes.
There's a lingering bridge or aspect, I would think, between ourselves and that dimension just because of our experience there in the past. I'm guessing, but you tell me, what happens if you've been a part of Egyptian and Atlantean society, and that exists in the third realm, but you're in a human body. You're a human right now, Earth realm.
I'm going to go two ways with this, but they all are correct. What you're saying is yes. Down this path is yes. So people have affiliation or are affiliated with certain races. This is where you get certain kingdoms. And this is where you get certain lineages and lines that souls come through within this construct. But in the entirety, we're connected to it all, like when you go way out. But So it's a yes.
Those who remember or go into past life experiences, Egypt, Atlantis, they're accessing what still exists in the third realm, the template for what exists in the third realm.
Yeah. So when people go back into past life experiences or past lives, they're remembering experiences that they've had within this construct. Yes. There's a total of 12, and well, actually supposed to be 13. And this is where it goes into everything. If you have the eyes to see, you'll see it very clearly. Truth always has to be shown, not necessarily that it has to be said as truth in that way, but it's all presented here. I want to write something down, if you don't mind, on the whiteboard to show you something. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Go for it.
Give me 1 second. Even with the 12 realms, once you start to really understand this and break it down properly, realm 1, we are the center. This is where you go into like I said, a lot of the texts are accurate, but riddled with distortion in order to control individuals here. Limit the information, limit the truth. So therefore, they are constantly in fear. And that's the number one way to have dominion over a soul is fear. You have total control over their self-expression, what they desire to do, and you limit them in a box. Realm 1 is the center, yes. Where we are, the earthly realm is the center of all creation within the construct only, because there are other places outside of the construct, other constructs, etc., like on God's shelves. But for this one in particular, realm 1 is the center of it all. This is where you get all the histories here too. You get all the history from the fall, the heaven on earth, all of the races here, because it was all here in realm 1. And then, because at a point in time, everything did come here. This is where you get the reset, the flood, etc. So this is also where you get the DNA, or what people call the double helix DNA, or supposed to be 12, originally 13 strands of DNA, because the physical bodies are perfectly designed off of the construct, the 13. This is where the bodies have been so distorted and shut off, because our true capacity is to access all this information very naturally and very effectively. And it was part of the old information as well. This is where you get the chakra system, 12 stargates, etc. It's even shown to you in as simple as a clock. So the clock is also mirrored off of the construct as well, the 12, 13 realms. Now we have 12 realms. Now the 13th, you would say, is the hidden. It's a hidden thing. This is also where you go into the Egypt and Atlantis time, where it's the hidden. Okay. It's the 13th realm is a hidden realm, but it's always been here and it's always been present. So when you draw a clock, or you go to a clock and you go 12 and 1, okay? When you circle 12 and 1, it's 13.
Mm-hmm.
You circle 11 and 2, it's 13. Okay, it's 10 and 3, that's 13. 9 and 4, well, that's 13. You go to 7 or 8 and 6, that's 13. And that 13.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see?
Yeah.
So it's understanding that all of it, from the very clock, from the very construct with the 12, the 13, the very thing with the 13 DNA strand within the brain, all of it is, we're multidimensional beings. All of it is always, the foundation of this construct is always present. It's all mirrored.
All of that dimensional information is present at the same time. And so either we can or cannot tune into it. I mean, as individuals, we do or don't have the ability to tune into it, depending on our own development. But nonetheless, it affects us, whether we can see in, whether we understand it, it's affecting us.
When I talk about 12 and the 13 realms,
Mm-hmm.
it's mirrored off of everything, from the very physical body that you have, from the very clock that we have, from the very true map that we have, the land masses here, etc., to also the construct creation, what we're living in now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything as above, so below, as within, so without.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you might also want to consider joining Patreon, which allows me to keep all of this content free and available to everyone. And if you're looking for like-minded souls, you might also enjoy my online community called Our Neighborhood. Links to join are in the description.